somewhat like you're actually experiencing the entire process, something like this. How is it like the activity you said? You made the staff go through the entire process, right? Like
Yeah,
the customers, right?
Redishri, I think what you can do is you can answer her questions stepwise. So that
Uh,
even you will have clarity in thinking, and
Uh-huh.
even we will be able to understand. So the first thing,
Yeah, yeah,
on the job training, is one of the example in experiential learning. So there are different
okay,
types of experiential learning. Experiential
okay.
learning is a doing learning by doing. We have to
Yeah, learning by
experience it.
doing.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
basic is that one only. Learning by,
Okay.
if basic example is the children is a no before 5 years, how they'll learn by whatever they'll try and do, they'll fail and they'll learn
Yes. Hmm.
like that.
so
Yeah, and
Redishri,
Radhika, you gave an example of your bank. Tasra, you gave us an example, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually this
So,
we have done. It's not an entire one program. So for a 2 days program, this was a activity we have done. With this, I think
okay.
I can develop a session.
yeah. So Redishri, just to probe a little more deeper.
Uh,
So what do you think is the learning purpose of this activity?
Learning focus, I can tell you, customer complaints will reduce. So
Ah,
they the staff or who is operating in the front office,
hmm.
they will understand if we talk like this, if we behave like this, if our body language is like this, what the customer feel. If the customer feel like that, again he will come back or not. If he come back, only we will get the business. So we facilitators, one group will be there, we will be given instructions. If they come and ask, see, we will be giving one person, go and get the stapler and go and get a signature in this particular paper. So different tasks we will give them, and we will give time frame also. At the same time, we will before itself we will instruct the facilitators that if anyone comes to you, you have to say like this: see, now lunch time, you should not come. You come after half an hour, like that we have to act. So that time they will be having a constraint that they immediately they have to go to trainer and give whatever the task they have to complete and tell.
Okay, so now I think that this entire activity will take around 15 minutes or half an hour.
uh,
This entire.
then there will be a session, like they have each one by one person, they have to explain the team members how they felt. So exactly what they felt can be understand by everyone.
Uh-huh. So that means I think the entire training program will be a half a day training.
Huh.
Okay, so that is a duration. So the description of the
Mm.
activity stepwise.
Duration will be total entire duration, and also this
Mhm.
while giving the instructions to the trainees, there will be a duration also. Within this time you have to complete this, like that
Exactly,
description.
exactly.
uh,
So each person will have a duration. So basically,
mm,
this training program will be for a half a day training completely from start to end.
yeah.
Okay. So now, how many people is required to do this particular game or to do this learning? How many people are required?
We have
Pardon? Hello, Radishni?
I think so. She's gone. The network is gone.
No, no, she's there. Hello. Okay, so until she comes back, so Himanshu, is there anything you'd like to add?
Uh, no, nothing from my side. I got an idea what is this experiential learning is. So
Uh-huh.
now, because I have gone through it one similar kind of training program where we were asked to do a repair from a thermocol one house, and then we were asked to sell it. And there was certain restriction was giving us, like suppose they have given the $100, and they ask us only $100 you have to buy these stuffs which will you require to prepare the house. So were divided into 5 groups, and then we prepared a thermocol house, and then in the end we were supposed to sell it. So once we have done with the activity, then we are asked how we felt during what were the challenges and how we have felt and what we have learned. So those things we have discussed, and Reddy has given and you also have given a brief idea. So I'm sure I could make it with this.
Okay, so what is the, Himanshu, what is the learning, what is the title of the activity from, what you have done?
So for us, it was a off-site training. So title, they have not given any particular title for that.
Okay, so
But what was the purpose of that training, Himanshu?
Moreover, it was moreover
What
like
was
a
the
employee engagement.
employee
employee
engagement.
engagement?
Yeah.
Acha. So
But do you think is it experiential learning? Like employee engagement is like I don't think so. It comes under experiential learning, no? Like in experiential learning, you are learning something out of your experience. So what was your learning from that experience?
So we were asked to prepare a house from thermocol, and there were certain challenges which was there, and the Prakash was explaining the activity when the person was blindfolded in the ball, the person with the ball. So it was moreover the similar way, I could say.
acha.
So
That was more of a team activity. It was more of a team activity.
yes, more of a team activity actually.
Acha.
This kind of the one that you mentioned, Himanshu, are usually used either in team development or team building activities, or they are used when we are providing training for project management, where everybody has a task and people have to follow instructions and they have to trust on each other. You know,
Yeah.
maybe these two areas where it can fit.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what exactly we should do it in the experiential learning?
No, I am saying what you said does count as an experiential learning. Any activity which promotes learning by acting is a part
Okay.
of experiential learning. It doesn't matter how small the learning is. Okay, it is actually dependent upon what was your need. If your need was to build trust amongst the employees or within a team, and you did a small activity, then also it will be an experiential learning activity itself. It doesn't matter that it has to be a very elaborate one. So I'll give you an example that we have done in my organization. It was called OIPS, which is a feedback, which is a method of giving feedback to the employees. It's a very, very simple process, and most of the managers already follow it. But we usually do it for first time managers. So the title of the activity is feedback through OIPS. Within OIPS, O stands for observation, I stands for impact, P stands for pause, and S stands for suggestion. So whenever you see that an employee is not performing up to the task, first thing you do is you note down your observation. Then you derive its impact. That if an employee is not performing up to the mark, what is the impact of that lack of performance on the rest of the team, on the organization, and on the employee's career in a longer run. Then you pause for a second or two and let the employee sink in that information, that his performance gap has been identified and he has been communicated about it. And next is the suggestion, that from a manager it should come as a suggestion. Okay, we have noted this performance gap. Now what is our suggestion in order to get you back up on your performing grades? Okay, so that is the entire agenda. So the learning purpose of the activity from the manager's perspective was how to provide effective feedback to the employees. Title of the activity is OIPS feedback mechanism. We usually take around 30 minutes of total time for doing this activity, and it is usually done through a role play itself. So what we do is we prepare the role play scenarios in advance, where we usually keep a certain excerpt for the manager to read. This is not given to the employee. Okay, so in the manager's excerpt, we choose any one random employee. We keep just any hypothetical name. Okay, and we give a few positive things about the employee, a few negative things about the employee's performance, and then the manager has to, and then there is one main glaring problem about the employee's performance on which the manager has to give the feedback. Okay, so that's the on the manager's part. Similarly, we create a small excerpt on a separate note which we give to the employee. Okay, so this activity involves one manager, one employee, and you can have some 3 to 4 observers. So maybe if you have a group of 10 people, one person can act as a manager, one can act as an employee, and rest can be observers and see how the activity is proceeding. Okay, so we give 10 minutes for the manager and the employee to read through their part, the manager part and the employee part, 10 minutes for the actual role play, and 10 minutes for observation and feedback. So while the manager and the employee are having the role play, the others observe, they note down, whether the OIPS model is being followed, whether it was followed in the right manner, whether what was the emotional impact on the employees. So whenever you give a feedback in an or a negative feedback, the employees are sometimes agitated, sometimes they are sad, sometimes they feel that their performance is going to be impacted or their appraisal is going to be impacted. So what was the so different observations as an observer, when you see this activity role play happening, what do you observe? All that is noted. Everybody, all the participants there, remaining participants have to note that down. Okay, so 10 minutes, 10 minutes for read through and preparation, 10 minutes for the actual role play, and 10 minutes for observation and feedback. So that is the duration. And description of the activity, we give a step. What we can write is it involves one manager, one employee, and observers. Manager needs to give feedback to the employee using OIPS model based on provided information in the read through material or whatever is given. And similarly, the employee has to read his part and prepare himself for the discussion with the manager. Then is the actual role play. The manager and the employee will have 10 minutes for the role play, wherein the manager will have to give the feedback. Employee will have to, react in any possible way, because no two employees will have the same reaction to the feedback. So the employee can get angry, employee can get sad, employee can feel confused that I did my work, why is it coming like that? So whatever way the employee wants to react, then the manager's work is to calm the employee down, make him understand that this feedback is not to throw him out of the organization, it's not to put him back in his performance appraisal, but to make him improve on his performance. Okay, so that kind of moderation, how does the manager do that? So that comes in the description of the activity stepwise. In the meanwhile, all the other observers have to make a note of it. At the end of 10 minutes, all the other observers will actually share what went good, what went wrong, what could have been done better in this discussion. So if the manager was not able to handle the employee's emotions, or maybe the manager was not able to convey the message in a positive manner. Sometimes the people want to be in the good books of all the employees. So they do not want to focus on the negatives as much. So they put all the focus on the positives, and at the end they simply slip in. But there's one glitch: you're not doing this rightly. So then the entire purpose of the feedback goes for a toss. Okay, so what should be the proper way of doing a feedback? So all that observation is shared, and similarly we can have 1 or 2 more role plays. So we can keep maybe 3 role plays ready with us, and that way we can involve 6 participants out of the entire group. Okay, then that was the description. Then materials and resources used is usually a timer, notepad for all the participants, the role play role play printouts, and yeah, that's it with the material and resources. A pretty simple activity. Role plays are the easiest to conduct if you are if you know how to conduct them. Then was briefs for the participants, so, how they should be doing it, a couple of guidelines. They should not get agitated, they should not take it personally, it is not something that we have picked from their profile. Okay, so sometimes when this discussion happens, some employees feel that they have been deliberately chosen for this role play, because maybe they themselves know they have not been performing very well, they become agitated. So some guidelines for the participants, and then guidelines for the facilitator. The most important guidelines for facilitator whenever we are doing an experiential activity is that you should always adhere to the timelines whenever you're doing an experiential activity, because whatever happens on the floor, we are kind of imitating that, and that will not actually be out of time. Everything happens on its time. So manage the time, manage people's emotion, make sure that the people who were not participating in the theory part of it are being included in the activity part of it. Okay, so those could be a couple of guidelines for the facilitators. So that's how I've prepared it as of now. It's a pretty simple activity, I know, but role play is something that is being used very vastly in all the training programs across. So I thought that could be one of the simplest ones to take up.
No, this is really
Yeah.
insightful. So, in fact, you've actually added on to, to all your myself as well as in Redish's discussion. So,
Your
uh,
voice is dropping.
yeah,
Voice is breaking, Prakash.
I think Himanshu has something to say. Yeah, Himanshu.
No, I was saying your voice is dropping. I got the idea with what Pratna said. It.
My voice is clear, right?
Over to you, Prakash. Yeah, over to you, Prakash.
Yeah, thank you. So I think as of now we have discussed a couple of very very critical activities, and I think it was a very productive discussion of both these both the- both of things. And I also feel that you guys should actually Google different go to YouTube and just Google on different role plays. You, your organization,
Role plays, Prakash.
yeah,
What I'm saying is, apart from role play, is there anything, any other example of experiential learning activity that
experience.
you people have?
A very critical part of your experiential learning is to actually do it, and only when you do it,
Yeah.
it is that is when you're activating the entire role play, the section of role play. And
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
we are actually doing this from a very organization's perspective. See, because uh, always keep the organization goal and the organization's vision, mission, as well as the department's vision and mission, as well as the cost when we're doing when we're
Prakash, your voice is breaking. Sorry, could not
Yeah,
understand.
actually everybody's voice is coming fine except for
I think
Prakash.
so, yeah.
is it? Oh, okay, sorry. So is it audible now?
On small sentence basis, we can say yes, but as you start speaking, it just breaks off. Yeah, Rekha, to answer your question, there are other activities as well. There are management games that come under that. There are simulations that come there. There are a lot of activities. If you Google, you'll find a lot of experiential learning techniques. But we are
Okay.
trying to pick which will be the easiest ones to actually do. One activity that we did for my organization very recently was Johari Window. Okay, so it was actually a request from one of the teams where the team members were not actually participating in each other's work. They were all independently working in silos. Okay,
Okay.
there was a lot of
Okay.
mistrust amongst the employees. So what we did was there were around 10 participants, 10 or 11 members in that team. We got them together in one room, and we gave
Okay.
everybody one page, one blank page, not exactly one page, some
Okay.
4 5 pages, which had the names of all the other participants. So for example, on this group we are 6 people, right? So I will be
Mm-hmm.
given 5 sheets. Except for myself, I'll get name sheet for Prakash, for Deepti, for Rekha, for Himanshu. For everybody other, I'll get one sheet. Okay, in that,
Okay.
so Johari Window is basically one it is actually a very very vastly used model what do you say, personality assessment. Okay, so
Okay.
if you
Okay.
go through Google, you'll see there are 4 basic quadrants in Johari Window: open, blind spot,
Yeah.
hidden, and unknown. So all the
Yeah.
personality traits that I know about myself and others also know about me are lie in the open quadrant. Then they are
Yeah.
not known to self and known to others. So there are few personality traits that I don't know about myself, but others know.
Mm.
For example, I am very arrogant. I'm just giving an example. I'm not. Okay. For example, if I am very arrogant, but I don't feel like I'm very arrogant, but other people feel like this girl is very arrogant. So that will fall under blind spot. I am very creative.
Okay.
I also know this. Others also know this. So this personality trait will fall under open. Okay.
Yeah.
Then similarly,
Yeah.
there is one quadrant which is hidden. So there are few
Yeah.
activities, there are few personality traits about me that I know, but others don't know. Okay, I have kept themselves hidden. For example, I am very good at singing,
Okay.
but I'm very embarrassed that I don't sing in front of others. So that is one
Okay.
personality trait, one skill that is known to me, but I've hidden it from everybody else. The fourth
Okay.
quadrant is unknown, which is not known to me,
Okay.
which is not known to others. Okay, so what
Okay.
we do is basically in the sheet that we have given to the employees for each of the other participants, we create these four quadrants. Okay, now
Okay.
I have to assess Rekha's personality on that sheet. I don't have to write my name. So I have within each
Okay.
quadrant, I have to write in one or two words about your personality. So, for example, if I go to open, I mean, I can write any 10 traits. It doesn't matter where you put it. Okay, you can write any number of traits. For example, I may write she is very outspoken, she is an extrovert, she is very kind, very helpful, but at the same time, she's careless. Okay, so there might be few positive things, few negative things. You write everything. So, similarly, for Rekha, out of 7 people, 6 people would have given similarly some personality traits. Okay, for every people in that sense, we will have one less. So around 10 people, if there are 11 people, then every person will have the personality traits list from 10 people. Then what we do is one by one we start picking out the participants. For example, if you start with Prarthana and 5 people have given the feedback from everybody will be noted on a common board. Okay, all the positive, all the negatives will be written there, and then we put them in quadrants. So if, for example, maybe some people might have given only 5 traits, some know me pretty well, so they might have given some 8 traits. So you write everything there, and that way the participants get to know about their own personality. There are a lot of things that we don't know about ourselves. Maybe my team is finding that I am not very easy to work with, and if out of 10 people 7 people have pointed that out, that is an area for me to work up. That is an improvement area for me. So that was an activity to identify what are your areas of improvement as a team member. I'm not talking about an employee or anything. As a team member, what do your other team members think about you, and what are your areas of improvement? Okay.
Okay.
So that was a very simple activity that we did. It I guess took some 15-20 minutes, because we gave everybody one sheet, and they had around 2 minutes to write whatever traits came to their mind for everybody within 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes per participant.
Okay.
That means if you have 10 members, you have 20 minutes to write down the traits of 10 people, and then another 10 minutes, 15 minutes to discuss each and every participant. Okay, so few people get offended also, then that is their manager's prerogative. That is where they have to pitch and see, this was the reason we needed this activity.